Most people treat warm water like it's just hydration, a harmless little habit, a mug in the morning, maybe another after dinner, and you move on with your day. And if weight loss is the goal, warm water is usually filed under nice but not powerful. Calories matter, workouts matter, genetics matter, water is just water. Hidden biological truth: the moment warm water hits your system, it can influence metabolic signaling, how your gut talks to your brain, how your liver handles glucose, how your mitochondria decide whether to burn fuel or store it. Temperature, timing, and what you add can nudge molecular pathways tied to inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and fat oxidation. But here's what almost no one talks about. You can turn warm water into a simple, daily metabolic primer using a few ordinary ingredients. Ingredients that may reduce cravings, smooth blood sugar, support digestion, and create a hormonal environment that makes fat loss easier to sustain. In this video, you'll learn 5 ingredients, why they work at the cellular level, who benefits most, especially over 50, and how to use them safely without turning your kitchen into a supplement store. Intro premise: warm water isn't a fat burner by itself. It's a delivery system, a signal, a daily ritual that can either do nothing or compound into real change. Why it matters: after 30, and especially after 50, fat loss gets less forgiving. Not because your body is broken, but because the background settings change. Inflammation tends to rise. Sleep can get lighter. Muscle protein synthesis slows. Insulin sensitivity often drifts downward. And stress chemistry becomes louder. That combination makes appetite harder to regulate and makes energy swings feel more intense. So we're not chasing a miracle drink. We're building a small daily habit that can compound. Small daily habits create massive long-term effects. The rule that makes this work and why most people fail. Myth: if an ingredient is healthy, more is better. Reframe: dose and context matter more than hype. Warm water rituals work when they support 3 goals: stabilize blood sugar, calm inflammation, and improve metabolic flexibility. That means we're not trying to melt fat. We're trying to make your physiology less reactive and more efficient so your body can access stored fuel more easily. Mechanism: fat loss is governed by hormones and cellular messaging. If insulin is chronically high, fat oxidation tends to be suppressed. If inflammation is high, mitochondria can become less efficient. If sleep is poor, hunger hormones become more chaotic. Your drink can't override those forces, but it can nudge them daily. Practical application: choose 1 warm water recipe per day, not 5 at once. Rotate. Track how you feel: energy, appetite, digestion, sleep. Benefits: fewer cravings, steadier energy, improved digestion, easier portion control, and better adherence to a calorie deficit without feeling like you're white-knuckling it. Especially over 50, the goal is not intensity, it's consistency. Your body responds beautifully to stable signals repeated over time. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Ingredient number 1, lemon or citrus. The appetite and glucose curve smoother. Myth: lemon water detoxes fat away. Reframe: lemon can support digestion and glucose control through signaling, not magic. Mechanism: lemon's acidity and bioactive compounds can influence gastric emptying and digestive signaling. When digestion slows slightly, glucose absorption tends to be smoother. A smoother glucose curve can mean less insulin spiking and fewer reactive cravings later. Lemon also supports bile flow indirectly by stimulating digestive processes, which can help fat digestion feel easier, especially in people who feel heavy after meals. At the cellular level, this matters because fewer glucose spikes means less oxidative stress, less inflammatory signaling, and a more stable metabolic environment for mitochondria to do their job. Practical application: warm water plus a small squeeze of lemon, not a full glass of straight acid. If you're sensitive, use less or skip entirely. Benefits: may reduce cravings, support digestion, freshen appetite signals, and encourage hydration. Hydration that supports fat metabolism, performance, and recovery. Especially over 50, many people experience slower digestion and more pronounced blood sugar swings with age. A gentle digestive primer can reduce that "I ate and now I'm sleepy" crash. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Payoff: lemon isn't a fat burner, it's a stability tool. Stability burns fat better than chaos. Ingredient number 2, cinnamon, the insulin sensitivity whisperer. Myth: cinnamon burns belly fat. Reframe: cinnamon may support insulin sensitivity and glucose handling, which can indirectly support fat loss. Mechanism: cinnamon contains bioactive compounds that may influence insulin signaling pathways and glucose transport at the cellular level. When insulin sensitivity improves, your cells can respond to insulin more efficiently, meaning less insulin may be needed for the same job. Over time, lower insulin demand can make it easier to access stored fat because fat oxidation is less suppressed. Cinnamon may also reduce post-meal glucose excursions for some people, which reduces the downstream cascade of cravings, fatigue, and snack seeking. Practical application: add a small pinch of cinnamon to warm water and stir well. Start low. Some people love it, others don't. Consistency matters more than intensity. Benefits: may stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, support metabolic signaling, and create a calmer appetite rhythm. Especially over 50, insulin resistance becomes more common with age, even without diabetes. Supporting insulin sensitivity is one of the most powerful, quiet strategies for body composition. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Payoff: if cravings are your main obstacle, cinnamon isn't about taste, it's about smoothing the signals that drive snacking. The overlooked lever: gut hormones and satiety signaling. Myth: hunger is just an empty stomach. Reframe: hunger is often hormone-driven and stress-driven. Mechanism: gut hormones like GLP-1, PYY, and ghrelin shape appetite and satiety. Blood sugar swings and ultra-processed foods can dysregulate those hormones. Warm water rituals can help by improving hydration, supporting digestion, and adding compounds that slow absorption and reduce spikes. Practical application: use your warm water drink before your most problematic eating window, often late afternoon or late evening. You're setting a signal before the storm. Benefits: appetite feels more reasonable, portion sizes become easier, and emotional eating gets less traction. Especially over 50, sleep disruption and stress load tend to be higher, and both amplify hunger hormones. Gentle appetite support can matter more than strict dieting. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Ingredient number 3, apple cider vinegar, ACV, the post-meal glucose buffer. Myth: vinegar burns fat directly. Reframe: vinegar may reduce the size of glucose spikes, which can reduce downstream fat storage signals. Mechanism: acetic acid can influence how quickly carbohydrates are digested and absorbed, leading to a flatter post-meal glucose curve for many people. A flatter curve often means a lower insulin response. Lower insulin excursions can support fat oxidation and reduce the crash and crave cycle. At the molecular pathway level, vinegar may influence AMPK-related signaling indirectly through improved substrate handling, less chaos, more efficiency. Practical application: a small amount of ACV in warm water, keep it mild, sip, don't chug, and always dilute. Undiluted vinegar can irritate your throat and teeth. Benefits: may stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, support appetite control, and improve metabolic flexibility, switching between burning glucose and burning fat. Especially over 50, post-meal glucose spikes tend to be larger, and recovery tends to be slower. Supporting the curve can improve energy and reduce snacking. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Punchy line: smooth the spike, quiet the cravings. Soft mid-script. CTA: keep watching, because the next ingredient is where most people get it wrong, and fixing that mistake can change the entire effect of these drinks. Ingredient number 4, ginger, the inflammation and digestion accelerator. Myth: ginger is just for nausea. Reframe: ginger can influence inflammation, digestion, and thermogenesis-like signaling. Mechanism. Ginger contains compounds that can modulate inflammatory pathways and oxidative stress. Lower inflammation can improve insulin signaling and mitochondrial efficiency, two pillars of sustainable fat loss. Ginger also supports gastric motility for many people, which can reduce bloating and improve how meals sit. When digestion is smoother, appetite signals often become clearer. Hungry feels like hungry, full feels like full. Some people also experience a gentle warming effect, subjectively increased thermogenesis, though it's not a dramatic calorie burner. The real value is improved signaling and comfort that supports adherence. Practical application. A few thin slices of ginger in warm water or a small amount of ginger powder. Start small if you're sensitive. Benefits: may reduce inflammation, support digestion, reduce bloating, and help energy feel steadier. Especially over 50, inflammation tends to rise with age, and digestion can slow. Ginger is a simple way to support both without extreme measures. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Payoff: fat loss gets easier when your body feels calm, not inflamed and puffy. Why fat burning is really metabolic flexibility. Myth: fat burning is about forcing your body to burn more calories. Reframe: fat burning is about making stored fuel accessible. Mechanism: metabolic flexibility is your ability to switch between fuel sources. If your body is stuck in high insulin, high craving mode, stored fat is harder to access. If inflammation is high, mitochondria become less efficient. If sleep is poor, hunger hormones push you toward quick energy. Warm water plus targeted ingredients can support metabolic flexibility by improving digestion, stabilizing glucose, and reducing inflammation, creating better conditions for fat oxidation. Practical application. Pair these drinks with simple habits: protein at meals, walking after eating, and consistent sleep timing. The drink amplifies the habit, it doesn't replace it. Benefits: reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, support heart health, improve energy, and make cravings less dominant. Especially over 50, metabolic flexibility often declines, but it's trainable. Gentle daily signals matter. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Ingredient number 5, electrolyte salt, a tiny pinch. The hydration and appetite reset. This is the one people get wrong. Myth: salt makes you gain weight. Reframe: the right amount of sodium can improve hydration and reduce false hunger, especially in active people or low-carb eaters. Mechanism: hydration isn't just water, it's water plus minerals. Sodium helps regulate fluid balance, nerve signaling, and muscle function. When sodium is too low, you may feel fatigued, headachy, and crave quick carbs, sometimes mistaking dehydration signals for hunger. At the cellular level, proper hydration supports mitochondrial function and energy production. It also supports exercise performance, which helps preserve muscle, one of the best long-term fat loss assets. Practical application: a tiny pinch of salt in warm water, especially if you sweat, walk daily, or tend to feel lightheaded. Tiny means tiny. You're not making soup. Benefits: may improve hydration, reduce headaches, reduce phantom hunger, improve energy and workout quality. Especially over 50, dehydration risk increases with age, and some medications can alter fluid balance. Better hydration can improve appetite regulation and physical capacity. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. Punchy line: sometimes hunger is just low fluid and low minerals. Who benefits most, and how to choose your best 5. Myth: everyone should use all 5 ingredients daily. Reframe: personalization beats stacking. Mechanism: your dominant issue determines your best ingredient. Cravings and blood sugar swings point to cinnamon or vinegar. Bloating and slow digestion point to ginger or lemon. Fatigue and headaches point to hydration and electrolytes. Practical application: choose one recipe for 7 days, then reassess. If your cravings drop, keep it. If your stomach feels irritated, adjust dose or switch ingredients. Benefits: better adherence, less overwhelm, and a routine you'll actually keep. Especially over 50, simplicity wins. Complex routines fail under real-life stress. Synergy statement: small daily habits create massive long-term effects. How to do it safely, balanced, practical. Myth: natural means risk-free. Reframe: natural still has physiology. Lemon and vinegar are acidic. If you have reflux, gastritis, or sensitive teeth, use very small amounts or avoid them. Consider drinking through a straw if acidity bothers your teeth, and don't brush immediately after acidic drinks. Cinnamon can be irritating in large amounts and may interact with certain medications. Keep doses modest. Ginger can thin blood slightly for some people and may aggravate reflux in others. Start low. Salt is not appropriate in large amounts for people with certain blood pressure issues or sodium-restricted diets. The key is a tiny pinch, not a habit of heavy salting. If you are pregnant, have kidney disease, have ulcers, have uncontrolled hypertension, or take anticoagulant medications, check with your clinician before making vinegar, ginger, or significant electrolyte changes part of your daily routine. And if you're managing diabetes or taking glucose-lowering medication, be cautious. Improving glucose curves can change your needs. This isn't alarmist, it's responsible. Small daily habits create massive long-term effects, but only when they're safe for you. Final takeaways. Warm water is not a miracle fat burner, but it can become a daily metabolic primer when paired with the right ingredient. Lemon can support digestion and smoother glucose dynamics. Cinnamon may support insulin sensitivity and reduce cravings. Vinegar may flatten post-meal spikes and reduce snack impulses. Ginger can reduce inflammation, support digestion, and improve comfort. A tiny pinch of salt can improve hydration and reduce false hunger signals. The real fat burner is not the drink. It's the compounding effect. Better appetite control, steadier energy, reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, stronger mitochondria, and routines you can repeat. Small daily habits create massive long-term effects. If you want more science-forward practical routines like this, calm, realistic, and designed for long-term results, consider subscribing. I'll keep breaking down simple habits that make your biology work with you, not against you.